Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Anil Joshi. Welcome you to my series Iconology and Temple Architecture Perspectives. In this series, we consider different aspects of Indian art, culture, and heritage. We have also got a series in it by name Types of Hindu Architectural Patterns. Now, there are different types of temple architectural patterns. We have studied them and we have analyzed them to give you a beautiful analytic videos. Now today's video is based on Dravidian type of architecture. As you know, there are two basic school of thoughts. One thing is Nagara style and second is Dravidian style. Multiple temple architectural styles are developed from it, or there are school of thought which have combined these two to form a Visera style or Chalukyan style. We have classified them, we have analyzed them, and we have prepared different videos on based on these findings. Now, what is the science behind temple architecture? The Sanskrit manuals narrating temple architecture were not rigid system. They do not say it should be this way or that way. It was rather a guideline on which you have to apply your ideas. So they have given you guideline based on the principle of sciences, perfection in astrology, geometry, structural and aesthetic. So on that line you will have to apply your mind, and based on the guideline principles you will have to develop a temple architectural style. Now artists and architects were given a room, or they were given freedom for innovatives and novelties. That's why if you find that there are so many styles of temple development, as a base there are multiple subdivisions, subtypes, and that has created into the creations more and more beautiful. Each and every year people were learning from their past experience and they try to make something gorgeous and better as far as size is concerned, beauty is concerned, architecture is concerned, novelty is concerned. So let's see them. So first, a basic Nagara style and a Dravidian style. I have given you a line architecture stating both the things. So what is striking feature of these two? You will find that Nagara has got raised platform, that is a plinth, over that there is Jagati, while Dravidian temples were slightly raised above the ground. Then there was Gopuram for the Dravidian. In Nagara there is no Gopuram, and there are many features of the Shikhara, what they call in North India, and Vimana, what they call in South India. Now if you see them, you will find that Amalakha is seen in a Nagara style, which is not seen in South India. They have got Shikhara only. Then there is a Kalasha which is North Indian, which is not seen here. Look at the Mandapas. The Mandapas of Dravidian do not have any Shikharas. So they are flat, while here they are not flat. Then compound wall is present in Dravidian. So many things are there. So many differences are there. So many changes are there. But in spite of that, each one of them is complement as far as beauty is concerned to each other. So let's get going to the main topic, that is the Dravidian style of architecture. Dravidian architecture or South Indian architecture style has dominated in the Hindu temple architecture that emerged from the southern Indian, reaching its final form by the 16th century. So started from north, developed in south, is a Dravidian style. It was emerging, it was becoming better and better till 16th century. It is seen in Hindu temple and is the most distinctive difference from the North Indian temple is the use of shorter and more pyramidal tower over the Garbhagriha or sanctum, that is called Vimana in south, and north it is a tall tower usually bending inwards with a rise called Shikhara, and there is at top will be Kalasha. However, for modern visitor to the larger temple, the dominating feature is the high Gopuram, which is not seen in Nagara. Gateway is not a correct way to describe it. Gopuram is Gopuram, but sometimes described as the gateway is the edge of the compound on which they have got Vimana-like structure, which can be up to 200 feet tall. So it can be taller than the temple, it can be larger than the temple, and usually it is constructed after the temple has been completed by some different dynasties. So that is the difference. Now let's come to Dravidian architecture. There are numerous other distinct features such as Dwarpalikas. What are Dwarpalikas? They are guardians, they are not doorkeepers. They are at the gate of sanctum. Now, the guardians at the main entrance and the inner sanctum of the temple are the Goshtams, that is deities carved in the niches on the outer wall of the Garbhagriha, mentioned as one of the 3 type of temple building in the ancient books, that is Vastu Shastra. The majority of the existing structures are located in the south state of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, some of the part of Maharashtra and Odisha and Sri Lanka. They have got some deities at the Garbhagriha. Continuing on Dravidian temple style, we have seen the Garbhagriha, we have seen the doors of the Garbhagriha. There are guardian idols, deities. There are numerous other distinctive features such as Dwarpalikas, twin guardians at the main entrance of the Sanctum Sanctorum, then some carved niches on the outer wall of the Garbhagriha, mentioned as one of the 3 style of temples building in the ancient as they are described. Now they have given you guidelines. Not exactly each and everything has been described in the book, but on these guidelines you will have to develop your ideas so that each and every temple is different. Now let's consider Dravidian versus South Indian style. Unlike Nagara temple, the Dravidian temple is enclosed within a compound wall. The front wall has entrance gateway, which is known as Gopuram. The shape of the main temple tower is known as Vimana. In Tamil Nadu, it is like a shaped pyramid or the stepped pyramid that rises up geometrically rather than curving. Curving you see in case of Shikhara, that is North Indian. Rekha Nagara is one of a type of it. Geometrically with steps like a pyramid, going high, becoming smaller and smaller, you see in Dravidian or South Indian. It is common to find a large water reservoir, that is a Kalasha, or a Kalasha is seen in the case of North Indian. It will be over the Shikharas. Now, water sources in North India are many. However, in South India, the Dravidian architecture has one thought that temple has to be on the side of a water reservoir. So, everywhere you will find at least a sizable water reservoir, or it all is called as Pushkarani, but it is also a masterpiece of engineering and developing architecture. Geometry, symmetry is just beyond imagination. Kanchipuram, Nanjavaram, or Tanjore, Madurai and Kumbakonam are the most famous temple of the Dravidian style. Towns of Tamil Nadu were, during the 8th to 20th centuries, as the role of temple was not limited to religious matters only. The temples were taking care of market, education, politics, then justice was even given by temples, Gurukul were run by temples, all the markets, the super hand was by the temples. Then Dravidian or the South Indian temple style, let us continue on that line. Temples become rich administrative center, controlling vast area of land, just as there are many subdivisions of main like Nagara, then whether they are subdivisions like Dravidian, irrespective of the division, subdivisions or otherwise, they were dominating in that area as far as all socio-economical culture and status were concerned. Now there are 5 basic different type of temple architectures, that is square, usually called as kuta, and also chatursara, then rectangular or shala or ayatasara, then elliptical, also called gajaprishtha, that is elephant back, or called as rittayata, or they are derived from the wagon, that is vaulted shaped, and upside chaityas with horseshoe shaped entrance facades. So they can be horseshoe shaped, they can be like wagon wheel or circular, or there are certain type of projections which are called nasi, shukanasi are one of them. Then it can be circular or ritta, then octagonal or ashtasra. So these are the Sanskrit names, and they are from the local language. Dravida or South Indian type temple continue. The Pallavas were one of the ancient South Indian dynasties. They spread the empire various parts of subcontinent, at times reaching the borders of the Odisha, and their links with Southeast Asia were also very strong. Although they were mostly Shivites, several Vaishnava shrines also survived from their origin, and there is no doubt that they were influenced by the long Buddhist history of the Deccan. Their early buildings, it is generally assumed, were rock cut, while the later one were structural. Now the early buildings are generally attributed to the region of Mahendravarman I, a contemporary of the Chalukya king Pulakeshi II of the Karnataka. Narasimhavarman I, also known as Mamala, built most of the temples, and the temple architecture was also modified by him, and that's what we can see best in Mahabalipuram. We have got videos on that, do visit it. Now let's see the difference between Shikhara and Vimana. Now Shikhara style is in Nagara, Vimana is in South Indian. Nagara is curved, Dravidian is pyramidal stepped. Then there is also a disc-shaped amalaka or amalaka on the Shikhara or the North Indian. It is a lotus, and if you see from above, it symbolizes sun. Then Antarala seen in Dravidian style. So Amalaka in North Indian, Antarala in South. Antarala is a short antechamber or foyer between the Garbhagriha and the Mandapa, which is more common in North Indian temples. Now Antarala are frequently observed in Dravidian temples. Maybe they have adapted it. Now the first evidences you will find when Dravidians had adapted Antarala are in Mahakuta, that is near Aiholi, because Aiholi was considered as a laboratory of the temple architecture. So they introduced it, and from that onward it became popular in their architecture. Now, Antarala are frequently observed in Dravidian style of temples where the Vimana and Mandapa are linked by a Antarala, that is an antique chamber or a vestibule. Now, let's go to the practicability, how the temples looks like. Now, first we are going to go to Aihoi. Why Aihoi? Standing at one place, you can see a Dravidian style, a Nagara style, and the most important, a style developed by Chalukyas, that is the Vesera, means a mixture or hybrid style, and that was a wonderful adaptation or mixing of these two styles. Now here we are seeing all type of temples. Earlier we have seen was the Dravidian. Here we are seeing the mixtures. Now this is again a Someshwar temple. Then there is a Dravidian influence. Look at the Shikhara. It is stepped, pyramidal. Then there is Shukkanasika also. Shukkanasika again a characteristic of the Chalukyas. They constructed this. Now look at these two temples near each other. One is in Dravidian style, another is in Vesara style. So that is the best part of Aihoi is you can see all types. Now this is one of the earliest temple built by the Chalukyas, that is the Chalukyas of Badami. This is on the Badami hill or Badami fort. There are two Shiva temples. One thing is upper and second is lower. Now you can see upper Shivalaya. Upper Shivalaya is typical Dravidian. Lower is also, this is the lower one. It is also typical Dravidian. So both are Dravidian in style because they were developed by Chalukyas. And this is a picture of fort, that is the Badami fort, in which we are seeing these two type of temples. This is Upper Shivalaya, a closer view from the side. There is a small reservoir. There are different stories how the reservoir has come into the picture. Now this is the glory of the Aihoi. You can see all the three styles in front of you. There is Vesera, there is Nagara, and there is Dravidian style. You can see here standing at one place because it was a laboratory. Here we are finding behind is a Dravidian, front is a Vesera. This is a Dravidian style temple. In Aihoi, when you take a picture, you are bound to get overlapping. This is again a Dravidian style. This is a Pattadakkal, then it is Sangameshwar. Look at this. Sangameshwar. Now coming to a conclusion. Pure Dravidian style temples are more common in Tamil Nadu because Cholas were promoters of the Dravidian style. Whatever temples were constructed by Chalukyans were after getting the ideas from the Cholas, but they mixed it with the North Indian, and that ended with their own style called Vesera style. So majority of places in South India, if you go to Chalukyan, whether they are Chalukyas of Badami, Chalukyas of Gadag, that is the western Chalukyas, or other dynasties, Vijayanagara or Hoysala, they got influence of combinations rather than purely Dravidian. Except possibly the Gadag style has got some Dravidian temples. Now what is the conclusion? The majority of the art and architecture relies from the ancient, medieval and modern India region are the Dravidian and Nagara style. However, there are a lot of changes taken place, lot of mixing has taken place, and which has resulted into different type of temples. Now, both the Nagara and Dravidian style of architecture arose from the earlier Panchayatana form of architecture. The development can be broken down into the three stages. There was simply pillared, then carvings, then came the standalone structures, and then the gigantic structures with the pyramids and Gopuram. Then ornamentation was the further addition. With that, we are coming to the end of this small lecture. There are different lecture on different school of thoughts, different temple architectural. Do visit them. So also there are lecture on every temple as a different. Now, even if you take it as a Pattadakal, we got more than 6 important lectures on different temple. In that, we have narrated each and every corner of the temple and each and every beauty of it. In this lecture, we have covered overall patterns of the Dravidian style. For details of each and every temple, visit our website. This is Dr. Anil Joshi, logging off. Till we meet next time. Goodbye, good luck, take care, and subscribe to us. Visit our website. See you again in next video. Till then, take care.